All right. Hello, good morning, good evening, and good night. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic because today, what we're going to be talking about is something very near and dear to me. Not only are we talking about our portfolios, but really the reason why I started this YouTube channel and the reason why I invest. This video is kind of like a little bit of a motivational video, but not in the traditional sense. What I want to talk to you guys about is why exactly I invest for these dividends, why I choose a high yield strategy over a low yield strategy, and really my motivations for investing, because we all have motivations for investing. If you're subscribed to the channel, like the 5,318 people who are subscribed, you will kind of understand my point when it comes to investing, how this investing is kind of like a game. I understand you're playing with your money. And you know what? You have to be very smart because you work very hard for your money. But in this video, I want to show you why I kind of view investing as a game. It's fun for me. It's a game where I look to level up myself, my finances, make myself better, make my situation better. And what really motivates me to invest, because these low yield investments, they don't really motivate me to invest. At the current stage of my life, I'm young, I'm in my 20s. I do want to have kind of a little bit of a faster pace of growth, and I'm definitely taking on a lot more risk. But in this video, I want to talk about exactly what my plan is and what I'm doing. So if you guys do enjoy this video, as I mentioned, 5,318 subscribers, 221 subscribers in the past 28 days. Thank you to everyone who has joined our channel. Now, you guys came for this video. Let's get into it. My current kind of real life portfolio, that's what I call it. It comprises of a couple low yields such as 3M, we have MPW with roughly about a 15% dividend yield. We have EPR, ADC, some real estate companies. We also have a mix of CLIP and Tesla USOY, which is an ETN, which I was told not to invest in because it's an ETN. It's definitely a lot riskier than an ETF because it could be closed at any moment. Yet it has actually performed pretty well for me, down 11%, but I received a lot in dividends, dividend yield being much higher. So this kind of gives you a little bit of overview of what this portfolio is. It is a jumble of both low and high yield dividends. EPR was actually the first stock that I ever bought. I think I bought about 7 shares of EPR back in the day. And I thought investing was so cool because you're able to take money that you earn from a job or earn for trading your time, and you allow your money like little minions to go and work for you. And that's the exact reason why I started to invest, because I knew we only have a limited amount of time on this earth, and I want to take my money and I want to earn that 7.79% dividend, that 42% dividend. That is cash that I earned that I will now be receiving an investment. And I understand my investments are maybe not for everyone. I invest in a lot of the Yieldmax funds with these high distribution yields, 70%, and the stocks generally trend lower over time. As you can kind of see here with my portfolio, even though we hold these stocks, my portfolio has remained flat just due to the fact that I haven't bought anything, but I will touch on that later. The reason why I invest in these companies like Yieldmax and these higher funds and MPW, for example, with a higher dividend yield, is because of the cash flow. When I see $69 coming in from TSLY every month, that personally motivates me to invest more. And it gives me cash to then reinvest and choose my best options at the time. And although you can see here, my investing account has stayed about the exact same marker for the past couple months, I've been receiving all these dividends and not reinvesting. That's kind of why I'm showing you my account here. I started out with about 13,000 or so. Of course, this is not entirely true. We have about 11.8K right here. Plus we have maybe about $400 sitting in cash that I've received in dividends over the past month. Why am I telling you this? It's because although the Yieldmax funds, they do trend down over time, some of them, just because of the high dividend yields that they pay out, I have found that actually they've been trending pretty flat as the market kind of continues up, and I've been receiving all these dividends. So of course, when times are good, everything is kind of moving smoothly with the Yieldmax funds. I found that my stocks have been staying flat or appreciating in certain periods of time, where you see right here, and continuing to pay me the dividends that I love. And just kind of touching here, the high dividends, they motivate me. When I invest in a stock and it pays me such a small percent, it makes me feel like what I'm contributing is not enough, like it doesn't matter. And that's why I enjoy the high dividend yields. If I'm currently receiving, let's say, about $200 every single month, and I could grow that to $500, $1,000, $2,000 very fast, then that will motivate me a lot more than investing in these low yield funds. And I do the same here with this other portfolio. I call it my Questrade high yield portfolio, where I'm only investing in 2 ETFs. We have SPXS, which is a 3 times bear on the S&P 500, and Yieldmax. Yieldmax is my main position because it pays a huge dividend, a 41% dividend. I find it to be relatively stable. I'm currently down about 3%, but I've also received a dividend, so that should hopefully kind of bounce back in a little bit. But it's a diversified play because it holds about 20 different Yieldmax ETFs, and it pays me out a huge dividend. And that is at the end of the day. Look, I understand you could get into dividend traps when you're talking about your portfolios, but I'm very careful when selecting my stocks. I do hold TSOY. TSOY down 37%. This was a stock that hasn't performed how most people would have thought it would. Tesla has been doing very good, but it has very volatile times, and TSOY takes the blunt of all these downturns. But you know what? It's actually been a decently well stock for me. And the reason, because it's paid me roughly about $500 in dividends over the past year that I've owned it. And so you can technically say I'm almost break even just because of course, the dividend that makes up for this. But this is just a little short video just to show you exactly why I invest. And I understand a lot of people, maybe they don't have that much money to invest, but what I do want to show you is just even $1,000, maybe $1,000 every single month for over a long time frame. We're talking 30 years at a very modest 7%. 7% is very achievable. You can just throw it in the S&P 500 or the market, and this is a totally achievable return. You would have invested about $361,000, but you would have came out with 1.1 million. And you could see here, as time goes on, if time is on your side, I understand. If you're young, you're in your 20s, your 30s, you have time. If you waited 40 years, you would more than double that, because compounding is not linear, it's gradual, it's exponential. And if we were to increase this to a 10% rate of return, which is not completely ridiculous, you could see how wildly these investments change. And that's the reason as well why I invest for these high yields. I understand that you do lose some kind of depreciation in your capital, but the yield is very high. And I found when reinvesting, when holding my assets and reinvesting, it is actually producing me a lot more income a lot faster as I hold and reinvest for the long term, which is very cool. Now, on the other hand, if you maybe don't have as much time, maybe 20 years, even if you're 60 years old, you're likely to live to probably about 80 years old. You still have about 20 years of investing left. 60 years old, by no means are you done. You're just really beginning as well. If you were to invest $3,000 for 20 years at a 20% annual rate, which is very high, you could still, only investing about $700,000, turn it into $6.7 million. That's money that you could live off of. And with every year that goes by, just to show you here, from $6.7 million, if you just added 5 more years, you could drastically increase that at these higher interest rates. And I understand what you might be saying. Look, 20% is not realistic. I understand. But you know what? In investing, you can create anything that you want. And that is the beauty of investing. You can invest in whatever you want. You can have the yields that you want. You can put your money where you feel is best and grow it however you want, in a low yield, more growth play, or you could do it in a high yield and kind of less of a capital play. But that is the beauty of investing. And this is why I invest. It's because it allows me to have a little bit of fun. It's like a game. It allows me to level up not only myself, but my finances. And it has real life implications. When I go into real life and I'm making about an extra $200 a month, as you see here, and an extra $100 a month here, that could potentially turn into $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month, that has real life implications. And so that is the reason why I started investing. I want to hear your reasons for investing down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I just wanted to say, I hope this video kind of motivated you or kind of showed you my perspective on investing and what really drives me to invest. It's the fact that I can level up myself, my finances. It's like a game for me. It has real life implications, and it really is something cool trying to pick and find new stocks and new ways to grow your money. So if you guys enjoyed this video, we're up to 5,318 subscribers, kind of different from our normal videos where we talk about certain stocks and ETFs. Just wanted to make this one a little bit more personal. This was a video for myself, but I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it provided you guys with some value, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.